Hello everyone, welcome to Hill Street. Today's story is That Thing Over the Wall. If you end up enjoying this story, please leave a like. And if you enjoy hearing stories from me, please subscribe and become a resident of Hill Street and let me know how I'm doing in the comments. Now, let's get to this nightmare. I always believed in ghosts. My family was religious, and I believed in spirits and such. I also had multiple encounters while growing up. But this encounter in particular brings me so much fear. It was the beginning of 2021. My parents and I started to notice that our next door neighbor of 11 years wasn't coming out to the front yard and watering his plants like usual. We all worried. Did he catch COVID? Is he busy with work? Did he die? We all wondered, and all we could do was hope that he was okay. One night, I decided to train my dog to get used to being outside since she was scared of all the active noise in the morning. It was around 6 p.m. It was dark. There was no noise around. It was always quiet around this time. No dogs barking, no cars driving by, just complete silence. I slided the back door open to let the dog out, but I stayed inside the house. My dog and I were on opposite sides of the door frame. I started throwing her treats to go fetch so she could get used to being outside without panicking so much. I decided to go over some tricks we learned, like lay down, paw, sit, and say hi. She wasn't really cooperating, and I had wondered why. There weren't any distractions around, but dogs can't always be perfect. I noticed that she started constantly looking to her left, which was my right, meaning that something was distracting her. Was it the tall trees far away? Maybe a stray cat? The light breeze? I didn't have my glasses on, but I looked over to where she was looking and saw nothing. Though my vision was blurry, I could still make out shapes and see movement. 5 minutes passed by, and she kept looking over to the same spot. During those 5 minutes, I started getting annoyed because I still didn't understand what the hell she was looking at. But this time around, I saw movement in the corner of my eye. When I turned my head, the thing stopped moving, but I saw it. I saw the black figure from across my neighbor's backyard wall. It was looking at me. It's been looking at me. It's aware that I can see it. It was black like a shadow and tall. I would say about 8 feet. The head was small and the neck was long and skinny. I could see its shoulders from above the wall. I didn't know what to think in that moment. I tried to shake it off and not be scared. The only thing I could think of was to say hi, and I brought my dog inside the house right after that. It was probably my neighbor, right? That's what I wanted to think. That's what I wanted it to be. I didn't want to immediately assume that it was a spirit, because like I said, I didn't have my glasses on. but I couldn't think of anything that would support the fact that it was my neighbor. How come I didn't hear the backyard door slide open? How come I didn't hear any walking? How come I didn't hear the rocks in their backyard? My neighbor wasn't even that tall. I don't know anyone that tall, in fact. I was too scared to move from downstairs. What if it sees me? The only thing I could do was call my mom from her work. I called her, and she picked up immediately. "What's wrong?" she said. I told her about everything that happened, and all she did was giggle a bit and told me that my eyes were playing tricks on me. She then told me to go upstairs to get my dad to go check the backyard. I did as she said and ran upstairs to get my dad. I told him the same thing I told her, and we proceeded to go downstairs together. He checked the backyard and saw nothing. That figure was gone now. I felt a little relieved. Nothing weird or odd happened after that. Months passed by, and someone new had moved into the house. He looked almost exactly like our old neighbor, so we just assumed that it was his son. They also had a dog named Peanut, and it would play with mine from time to time. But we never really got to know the new neighbors. One day, my mom brought our dog outside to play with Peanut. She happened to finally see our new neighbor and got to talk to him. They talked while the dogs played, but I stayed upstairs in my room because I wasn't too interested. After a bit, my mom came upstairs into my room with a little sadness shown on her face. We found out that our new neighbor is the nephew of our previous one. We also found out that our previous neighbor had passed away in January due to heart problems. I felt a little bad because I saw him every day while I was growing up, and he was always kind to my family. I thought about it for a bit, and then something clicked. The thing I saw that night was at the beginning of the year, in January. My neighbor passed away in January. Was that him? I hope it was him. Maybe that was him sending his final goodbyes to me. But what if it was something else?